Hello everyone, I'm Eric Breeden. I've just created a YouTube channel and this is my official channel. I hope you'll support me. The Young and the Restless, spoilers full. Welcome back to our channel. Today is a beautiful day to talk about the crazy drama happening in Genoa City right now. We have so much to unpack today regarding the Winters family and the absolute emotional roller coaster they are currently on. So grab a snack and let's just get right into the thick of it because things are getting really intense and heartbreaking. And the spoilers for The Young and the Restless are painting a very grim picture for Malcolm Winters right now because he is facing a massive medical crisis. Aplastic anemia is no joke. It is a terrifying diagnosis. So Malcolm has been looking everywhere for a quick fix or an easy solution, but he has not found one in Genoa City, Wisconsin. And he also did not find a logical backup solution out in Los Angeles, California, which is just devastating. So it is time for him to come home. He has to face the music. He has to face his family. But time is ticking. Fortunately, the illness was caught in the early stages, which is a huge blessing because that gives him time to fight. But fighting requires a weapon. And in this case, the weapon is a bone marrow transplant. He desperately needs a willing donor to help treat this condition. Without a match, he is out of luck. So the family is scrambling. Everyone is panicking because Malcolm is a beloved member of the Winters family. And losing him is just not an option. So Lily Winters stepped up right away, which is exactly what you would expect from her. She is so loyal, and she loves her family so much. She was hoping to donate her bone marrow to her father. She went through the tests. She waited for the results, just praying that she could be the one to save his life. But the results came back, and she is not a match, which is a massive blow. You can only imagine the heartbreak she is feeling right now. To want to save your dad and just biologically not being able to do it, it is a helpless feeling. And then we have Holden Novak. The truth about Holden just recently came to light. He is Malcolm's son. So you have this brand new family dynamic, and Holden wants to help. He just found out the truth about his dad. He wants to be the hero. He wants to save the father he just connected with, but he cannot. The tests probably ruled him out too. Or maybe there are other medical reasons, but the bottom line is Holden cannot be the donor. So that is another dead end, another door slammed in Malcolm's face. So where do they go from here? It seems like the next logical step would be the grandchildren. Lily and Kane Ashby share twins, Mattie Ashby and Charlie Ashby. They share Malcolm's bloodline, so one of them could very well be a part of the solution. Ideally, Mattie or Charlie could help their grandfather, and it would be a great excuse to bring them back to the show. Fans have been wondering about the twins for a long time, but unfortunately, both of those positive outcomes seem completely out of reach right now. The actors are busy, the show is crowded, so the twins are probably not coming back to save the day. But Malcolm still has time to fight, and he is not fighting alone. Stephanie Simmons met with Malcolm recently. He reached out to her, and they had a meeting. But this all happened off screen because the actors are not currently on the canvas. They are living their lives elsewhere. Vivica A. Fox plays Stephanie, and she has not been on Y&R in 30 years, 30 whole years. That is a lifetime in soap years. So seeing her character involved again is wild, even if it is just mentioned in passing. And then there is Shamar Moore, the legendary Shamar Moore. He plays Malcolm, and he has had a few recurring stints since his regular run ended way back in 2005. The last time we actually saw Malcom on screen was in 2023. So having him involved in this heavy storyline without constantly seeing him is a bit clunky. But that is how soaps work sometimes. You have to tell the story, even if the main actor is busy shooting a primetime cop show. So we hear about Malcolm's struggles through the rest of the cast. But let's talk about Lily and Holden for a minute, because this dynamic is actually really fascinating. Lily completely understands what Holden is going through right now, because Lily had her own massive paternity shock back in the day. The scene where Lily found out that Neil Winters was not her biological father is iconic. It is burned into the memories of longtime fans. It was a huge, earth-shattering moment for her. So she knows exactly how Holden feels having his world turned upside down by family secrets. And we have to go back to the golden era of Y&R to really understand this, when Shemar Moore, Christophe St. John, and Victoria Rao were the absolute core of the show. Neil, Malcolm, and Drusilla, they were soap royalty. But the storyline they gave them was so controversial. Drusilla took a massive dose of cold medicine. She was completely out of it. She was in a total fog, and she thought she was with Neil, but she was actually with Malcolm, and Malcolm slept with her. And Malcolm's excuse for this was just wild. He claimed he misinterpreted Drusilla's desires. He thought she wanted him, which is just a terribly weak excuse. And Drusilla and Neil totally called him out on it. They thought it was a pathetic defense because she was high on cold medicine, but the damage was done. And years later, the truth came out. Lily was the product of that night. Malcolm was her real father, not Neil, the man who raised her, the man who loved her. And Lily was the one who suffered the most from this revelation. The shock of it caused so much grief for her, and it caused so much grief for Neil, too. It broke his heart. But their bond was so strong. Neil and Lily had a connection that biology could not break. And like Lily recently told Holden, she still considers Neil to be her father to this very day. Biology does not make a dad. Love and presence make a dad. And Neil was always there for her. So that specific detail in her history makes Lily the absolute perfect spiritual guide for Holden right now. Holden is dealing with the fact that Stephanie hid this massive secret from him. She kept Malcolm a secret, and Holden is angry. He is confused. He is hurt. But Lily can sit him down and say, I get it. I lived it. I survived it. And you will too. She can help him navigate the anger he feels towards Stephanie and Malcolm, because she had to navigate her own anger toward Drusilla and Malcolm back in the day. But while Lily is playing therapist for Holden, the clock is still ticking for Malcolm. He still needs bone marrow. The twins are not an option. Lily is not a match. Holden is out. So who is left? Who can possibly step up and save Malcolm Winters? Well, enter Kane Ashby. Kane is hovering around, and Kane is a guy who always needs something. He always has an angle, or he always has a mess he needs to clean up. And this cheesy, dramatic scenario might be exactly what he needs right now, because Kane wants Lily back. He has made so many mistakes in the past. He has lied. He has cheated. He has let her down time and time again. But he still loves her, and he wants to prove that he is a good guy. So imagine if Kane gets tested. Imagine if he actually turns out to be a positive match for Malcolm. That would be the ultimate soap opera twist. The ex-husband who caused so much pain ends up being the physical savior of the family patriarch. And a positive result would absolutely create this unexpected opportunity for Kane. It would be his chance to prove his loyalty, to prove his love for the family. Giving his bone marrow to his former father-in-law would completely change the dynamic. Malcom has probably had a lot of mixed feelings about Kane over the years, especially because of how Kane treated Lily. But you cannot really hate a guy who literally gives you the marrow from his bones to save your life. It is the ultimate trump card. But of course, this is Genoa City, and nobody trusts anybody. So if Kane steps up to be the hero, people are going to talk. Lily's family and the suspicious Devin Winters is not going to buy it right away. Nate Hastings is going to raise an eyebrow. The twins, if they were around, would probably question it too. Everyone is going to think Kane is just playing the hero to get back into Lily's bed. They will think he has a massive ulterior motive because it is Kane. And Kane always has a motive. But honestly, even if he does have a motive, he is still saving a life. So they cannot really stop him. And at the end of the day, Lily's heart is going to soften. It is inevitable. She is watching the man she used to love, the father of her children, step up in the most selfless way possible to save her family. That is going to break down her walls. It is going to make her remember the good times, the times before the lies and the cheating. It will slowly thaw the ice around her heart. And what if Kane is not a match? What if he tests and he fails, just like Lily and Holden? Well, Kane is not going to just give up. If he is not a match, he is going to use every single resource he has to find someone who is. He will hire private investigators. He will launch global searches. He will spend whatever money it takes to find a donor for Malcom, because he loves Lily and he loves her family, and he wants to secure his place in their world again, including building a relationship with Holden. So Kane is going to insert himself into this crisis one way or another, and it is going to be messy, because Devin is already dealing with so much stress. Devin is dealing with the whole Mariah situation. He wants her in prison. Other people want her in a mental facility. So Devin is already on edge, and now he has to deal with Kane playing savior for Malcom. It is just a recipe for disaster and family arguments, but we have to remember the stakes here. Aplastic anemia is a condition where the bone marrow just stops producing enough new blood cells. It leaves you fatigued. It leaves you prone to infections. It leaves you bleeding uncontrollably sometimes. It is scary. Malcom is probably sitting somewhere, maybe in a hospital room, off screen, just waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for a doctor to tell him he has a match. The psychological toll of that must be absolutely crushing. And Lily knows this. Lily survived cancer herself. So she knows exactly what it is like to face your own mortality. She knows the smell of the hospitals, the endless tests, the fear that keeps you awake at night. So her desperation to save Malcom is fueled by her own past trauma. He does not want her father to go through what she went through. And the fact that she cannot physically save him is just tearing her apart from the inside out. So when Kane sees Lily crying, when he sees her breaking down under the weight of this crisis, his protective instincts are going to kick in. Say what you want about Kane Ashby, but he has always been protective of Lily. Even when he was the one hurting her, it is a toxic threat, sure. But in this specific scenario, it might be exactly what she needs. She needs someone to lean on. She needs someone who will not take no for an answer. And Kane is that guy. And let's look at the Holden angle again. Holden is new to this family. He just found out Malcom is his dad. He just met Lily. He is trying to figure out where he fits in. And now his dad is dying. It is a lot for a young guy to process. And if Kane steps in and saves Malcom, or finds the person who saves Malcom, Holden is going to look at Kane like a hero. Kane will easily win over the newest member of the Winters family, which is a very strategic move if Kane wants to get back in the inner circle. So the next few weeks are going to be crucial. We are heading into May sweeps, and sweeps month is always when the biggest drama happens. The writers are setting up this massive medical crisis to run parallel to all the other crazy stuff happening in town. It grounds the show. It brings real human emotion to a soap that is usually just about corporate takeovers and affairs. It reminds us that these characters are human beings with fragile bodies. And it really makes you think about family. The Winters family has lost so much already. Losing Neil was a tragedy that the show still has not fully recovered from. Christophe St. John's passing left a massive hole in the heart of Genoa City. So the idea of losing Malcom, too, is just too much to bear. The fans cannot handle it. The characters cannot handle it. The Winters family needs a win. They need a miracle. They need someone to step out of the shadows and be the donor. So we are all watching Kane very closely. Will he be the one? Will the tests come back positive? Will we see a scene where Kane rolls up his sleeve and gives the gift of life to Malcom Winters? It would be a beautifully poetic moment, a moment of true redemption, and it would absolutely pave the way for a Kane and Lily reunion, which is something a lot of fans have been secretly hoping for anyway. They have that undeniable chemistry, and shared trauma always brings soap couples back together. But if it is not Kane, then who? Could it be a stranger? Could Kane's money find some random person halfway across the world who is a perfect match? That happens sometimes too, and it would still make Kane the hero, because he facilitated it. He made it happen. He refused to let Malcom die. Either way, Kane is positioning himself to be the MVP of this storyline, and Lily is going to have to acknowledge that. She is going to have to look him in the eye and say thank you. And once she says thank you, the walls come down. They will start talking. They will start remembering, and before you know it, they will be back in each other's arms. It is the classic soap opera formula, but it works because it is rooted in real emotional stakes. A father's life is on the line. A daughter's heart is breaking. A new son is feeling helpless, and an ex-husband is looking for redemption. It is the perfect storm of drama, and we just have to wait and see how it all plays out. Will Malcom get the call in time? Will the disease progress faster than they expect? Will there be complications with the transplant if they even find a donor? Because finding a match is only half the battle. The body still has to accept a new marrow. There could be rejection. There could be infections. So even if Kane is a match, Malcom is not out of the woods yet. The drama could drag on for months, but for now, the focus is on the search, the desperate, frantic search for a match. Lily is praying. Holden is hoping, and Kane is acting. He is taking charge, and that is exactly what the Winters family needs right now. They need a man of action. They need someone who refuses to accept defeat. So let's hope Kane Ashby is the answer to their prayers, because Genoa City just would not be the same without Malcom Winters in it. So keep your eyes glued to the screen, because the Winters family drama is far from over, and we will be right here to break down every single tear every single test result and every single twist that the writers throw at us. It is going to be a bumpy ride. But that is why we love this show. That is why we tune in every single day. To see these families fight for each other, to see love conquer all, and to see Kane Ashby try to finally do the right thing for once in his life